Other numbers on the red starter, Tyler Mahle, the biggest one that leaps, Lark, that ERA, 1.75.
Yeah, he's been really good, and Chris talked a little bit about it in the pregame. It's his fastball. Last couple of years has been able to add a couple of miles an hour in the velocity, and he's done a nice job of throwing it in different parts of the strike zone, and that split finger that he throws to neutralize the lefties, he's been really good this year.
Now, he hasn't gone very deep in games. He's only gone more than 5 innings once. That was the 21st against Arizona. But he also has not allowed more than 2 earned runs in any one outing. Last time out, Monday in L.A. against the Dodgers, 1 run, 5 hits in 5 innings. That took 97 pitches. And the strikeouts, part of the reason that pitch count is elevated and the innings have been more limited. Shift is on for the switch hitting Ian Happ, who is 6 for his last 47. All singles, 22 strikeouts in that time. And he smokes the first pitch to right field. Castellanos bends back. That's over his head, hops off the wall. Happ chugs up to second. He kills in this ballpark. And a man who had been ice cold springs to life once again.
Ambush a fastball. 90 mile an hour on that fastball, and you can see it pretty much center cut.
And that's Happ's first extra base hit in his last 75 ABs. That was the longest active drought in baseball. He's at second base. The crowd dialed down to a murmur. Chris Bryant, who kills fastballs. First pitch, that's a fair ball, that's a run. Happ whips around third, the ball just now dug out by Winker, slowing at second Bryant. And just like that, on a couple of pitches, the Reds down 1-0.
Well, you always have a game plan going into a game, and depending on who you're facing. We talked about how many fastballs that Mahle likes to throw, and looks like the Cubs have the swing early mentality going on.
And Bryant is top 10 in baseball in OPS and slugging against fastballs this year. And now Javi Baez, who strikes out more than most. In fact, the highest strikeout rate in baseball, almost 40% of the time. Stock is shallow at third, and there's a wild cut. Comes up empty. Top 5 in RBIs. Did have a base hit, scored a run. Got his team leading 6th steal yesterday. Down and away. Mahle uses that 4-seamer 56% of the time. Average against on the year had been 146. The slider, a secondary pitch, 31% of the time. League hitting 160 against that. 1-1. Got a piece, but you mentioned the splitter, Lark. He uses that the least. It does have the highest average against, but he gets more swings and misses with that pitch, and that's the one that tracks and profiles as the least hittable. It's his selectivity that helps with that.
Well, and then you have to read the swings of the opposition. We've seen on the 2 doubles fastballs early in the count. So understand that sometimes you just have to make an adjustment. Yes, you want to be able to throw a fastball in a fastball count. You don't want to go away from your game plan, but you have to take into consideration also whether or not you have your good fastball and what the opposition is doing. If they're swinging fastball early, then maybe you alter your pitches and maybe throw a little split finger up there every once in a while.
And he does, swing and a miss. Gets his first K. He's enduring his first inning with multiple hits against him in the first frame. He had allowed 1 hit in the first inning all year.
And I think that's a slider right there. But on a free-swinging team, especially a free-swinging Javi Baez, when he has 2 strikes, you want to expand the zone. Good pitch by Mahle.
Now, this is a man who is not a free swinger. Anthony Rizzo walked and struck out yesterday. He is top 3 in the league. Paces his team with 17 walks. Takes all the way. It takes a strike. They shift. Moustakas had been in a stride at third. He backs up. The lights are on. Clouds dominate the sky as the sun pours on in. Sharply grounded. Backhand pick. Nicely done by Votto. Takes it himself. Does move Bryant over to third base. The Reds defense brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Jesse Winker is back. Day off due to back spasms yesterday. Naquin and Castellanos. On the infield, Jonathan India is active again off the IL, but Nick Senzel starts at second. Suarez joins him up the middle. The corner's anchored by Moustakas and Votto, and Barnhart receives Mahle. And now Matt Duffy, who does not chase. He made a spot start April the 21st. Cubs have been without Jock Peterson, and Duffy has filled in well, multiple times serving as the 3-hole hitter. Takes a strike. He makes contact on 94% of his swings and pitches in the zone. And he is swinging at balls out of the zone at a career low 19% rate. What does that mean? He only swings at strikes, and he makes contact.
I think more than that, it means that he gets in good position to make a good decision whether to swing or not. And I think that is the key for any successful baseball player.
He was caught leaning there, though, and indecisive. Mahle froze him for a strike. Looks like it might be a little generous there. Much like the strikeout pitches in the 9th inning yesterday. Bryant off third. Just tall. Two. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back doubles on first. Reds trail the Cubs home first. Reds 9 brought to you by Rally House. Jesse Winker's back, a day of rest for his back spasms. Nick Castellanos, a clean, crisp 300 average. Joey Votto, Mike Moustakas. Eugenio Suarez, 1 hit shy of 800. Tyler Naquin in center. Nick Senzel, second career start at second base in the bigs. Tucker Barnhart catches. And Tyler Mahle bats 9th, looking for his first hit. They will take on Trevor Williams, who many of these Reds have hit well, Lark.
Well, they saw him a lot with Pittsburgh. They have some history. Hopefully we won't have any flare-ups, but in the past there have been some discussions on the field. And Trevor has been in the middle of some of those discussions.
Jesse Winker takes ball 1. Winker is 6 for 10 against Williams. The Reds lineup today, they are a combined .348 hitting team. These 9 against Trevor Williams. An OPS of almost .950. They have crushed him. But he's a bit of a different pitcher this year. He's not really known as a strikeout guy on his career. 2-0. Up and away. But he tied a career high, 8 strikeouts Tuesday in Atlanta. And he now has career high marks for swinging strikes and strikeout rate. The difference is curveball. He's using it a lot more, and it's a lot more effective. That catches for a strike. He had never used it 2% of the time or more on his career. It was a show-me pitch. Last year used it 7% of the time. He's doubled that this year. But he can't throw a strike to Winker. He gets aboard on a 5-pitch walk. The Cub defense brought to you by your Ford dealers. Bryant gets a turn in left field. Ian Happ in center. Jason Hayward plays at right. The infield, Duffy at third base. Baez has been outstanding defensively at short. Horner and Rizzo. And Tony Walters catches again. Primary catcher Wilson Contreras was lifted. Some stiffness and soreness mid-thigh in game 1 of the 5th inning. And manager Dave Ross said he is loosely available today. Nick Castellanos. Strike 1. Castellanos has hit nearly 300 against Williams. He has hit 300 on this season and has thundered 7 home runs. Souvenir in the stands. A lot of room right side. Winker held on. Well, it looks like both pitchers right now are getting a little bit off the plate, away to righties, into lefties. Called a strike.
As a hitter, all you expect is some consistency. If it's a strike or a ball early, let's just make it a strike or a ball late.
That is a laser to the netting. As Williams has become more of a strikeout man, his slider is getting a lot of whiffs. More than half the time, a career high 54.5%. That's just outside the top 5 in all of baseball. He's ahead 0-2 on Castellanos. Winker a light lead. In the dirt, Walters smothers. Castellanos has been aggressive on the year, but I think in the last week we have seen pitchers start to throw out of the zone more against him. And he's largely adjusted. He's not seeing the strikeouts ramp up. He's showing patience, continues to drive the ball. Catcher away. And fastball away. Williams has said of his own success, quote, "I think we made great strides with spin, locating the curve to both sides of the plate, throwing the slider to the edge and under, and then locating the fastball to all 4 quadrants, which then enhances the secondary pitches." 2-2. Grounded sharply past Baez. It trickles into center. Winker slows at second. He thought about taking a gamble there, but Happ was quick to charge the ball. 2 on, nobody out.
You mentioned Castellanos and his aggressiveness and ball down and away, not trying to do too much with it. And see Wink running across second base and looked like he might be lumbering a little bit.
Winker with Baez right behind him. Joey Votto, a .387 hitter against Trevor Williams. 4 extra base hits among his dozen. Ball 1. Votto 3 hits, all extra bases, including home run number 300 on Friday. That was the pivot point, gave the Reds the lead. A lead they would never lose. Reds are looking for their 4th win in 6 games. Cubs are trying to avoid a 7th loss in 9 games after their worst April in nearly a decade. Scoreboard wants the crowd to get loud. That is smoked into right center field. Wave is on for Winker. Happ gathers, pirouettes and throws to second. Winker scores. Castellanos claims third. RBI base hit. Joey Votto. Tie game at 1.
Well, Joey is keeping the train going. Standing tall. Dropping the head of the bat on the ball. Really free and easy swing. Just keep rolling.
5-pitch walk, back-to-back hits, now first and third. They will shift against Moustakas. Moustakas is willing to go the other way if he's pitched there. Target away. Pitch pump for a strike. Throw to first. Awkward retreat. Votto back safely. One. That is grounded left side. Duffy, Baez, in time, double play. Castellanos scores, and the Reds take the lead, a 2-1 advantage.
Turning the double play from the shift. It's a different turn for the shortstop coming from the second base side. But Moustakas has to put the ball in play and does. Drives in a run. So many good things happen when you put the ball in play with runners on base.
Ball 1 to Eugenio Suarez. An impressive home run just right of dead center during the homestand, but he's in a bit of a funk right now. Remains 1 hit shy of 800. The strikeouts are up. The contact is slight. And obviously there is concern about spillover from last year into this. But the back of his card would suggest that when it clicks, it will do so robustly. His teammates have certainly had his back. Probably the most vocal has been Joey Votto, who in most media sessions, if he's not asked about Suarez, finds a way to bring him up, to pump him up, and to let everyone know that he and the clubhouse have Suarez's back. It's a fisted pop. Hayward is time. Takes the catch. First stat, highest strikeout per 9 for a Red through the month of April. The record now owned by Tyler Mahle. It's the highest for any month of the season by a Red starting pitcher with at least 20 innings pitched.
Good list right there. Freddie Norman, Mario Soto.
And now he faces Jason Hayward. First pitch slightly tapped. He has had a lot of trouble with off speed this year. And he's done on a single stroke. 1 away. Hayward, who entered hitting sub 100 against all off speed and breaking balls. Now Nico Hoerner, man, he was trouble for the Reds yesterday. 3 for 3. Double, RBI. He walked, he stole a bag, he scored a run. He had the pivotal contact in the late stage of the game. Takes a fastball strike. Came in the 6th inning. After the Reds had brought in Sean Doolittle, he struck out Hayward. And then Hoerner slugged the first pitch into right field. That drove home Javier Baez and proved to be the final and deciding run in the game.
Well, a lot of his teammates have been advocating to get him some at-bats and keep him in the lineup. He gets things started.
mentioned Jock Peterson banged up. He is actually with the Cubs on this road trip. He is rehabbing left wrist tendonitis. 2-1. And that one taken the opposite way. It's going to fall on down in front of Castellanos. Turn and a hold. Well, Hoerner's aboard. He's 4 for his last 4 in the series. Peterson was eligible to come off yesterday.
And this is why his teammates want him in the lineup. Not a home run threat. The guy that gets on base. It's a good pitch. It's a good bit of hitting.
Wilson Contreras said this guy needs to be in the lineup on a daily basis. High energy guy, takes good at bats. Always looking for ways to win. That's Nico Hoerner, who did not make the opening day roster. Tony Walters, backup catcher. Down and in, a miss. In truth, Walters is the 3rd catcher. He had been with the Rockies, came up with the Indians as a prospect middle infielder, converted to the catching ranks while with Cleveland. Back up for many years with the Rockies, but was not going to make the big league club. He asked to be out. Eventually latched on with the Cubs and was set to be the 3rd man in case of emergency break glass. Well, Austin Romine got hurt. Was also hurt during a lot of spring training. And so Walters gets back-to-back starts with Contreras nursing his thigh issue. And that one opposite way, that's going to get down, base hit. Through second, steams Hoerner, throw to third base. Tag late, backside, Walters claims second. Lost his helmet in the process. Second and third, 1 out.
And you look at this ball, Walters does a nice job of staying on that breaking ball away. And Jesse Winker has to make a decision. He decided to try to cut that runner down at third base. But if that ball is to your left or right, you're pretty much not going to throw that guy out. And Hoerner can run. So that throw to second base keeps the double play in order.
Scored a single, takes second on the throw. It's only Walter's second hit, his first for extra bases. Oh, 1 down and away. And so, correction, does not get extra bases still. And yet it has that impact on the toss. Corners play in a bit. Votto's on the grass. Moustakas just off it. 1-2. Just misses away. Williams getting some decent looks here. Barnhart's been setting up late. He does so again. Reaching swing, ground ball. Votto, runners break. Votto takes the out. Hoerner scores. Walters to third. Tied at 2.
And Trevor Williams does himself a favor, putting the ball in play once again. is so important with runners on base. Strikeout right there puts all the pressure on Ian Happ to get a base hit, put the ball in play, leads to a run.
And I'm not sure it made a ton of difference, but the bat breaking probably slowed that roll a bit. And an excellent jump by Horner at third. Votto had little choice. Ian Happ takes a strike. He doubled first pitch swinging and scored in the first. That was his first hit against Mahle. Had been 0 for 12 with 7 Ks. 0-2. Mahle ready. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner home. The ball's there. Slide. Safe. He slid under the tag. And the Cubs take a 3-2 lead.
Well, it's not often that you see the steal of home right here. But on the throw back to the pitcher, and then the great slide at the plate. See Tuck throwing the ball to the pitcher. That was okay. Just a really good slide by Walters.
Now they go to the headsets. Did backup catcher Tony Walters just steal home plate to take the lead? Now that right cleat was above the plate. When did ball and glove reach the midsection of Walters, and when did that right heel clip down on the plate? It did hover above the plate at first. Watch that right heel tag. Did he clip it as he came across? Keep in mind, if they reverse this and he's out, that's the inning. So it's either 2-2 going bottom 2, where the inning continues and the Cubs have the lead. Shane Livensparger, the home plate umpire. Crew chief Sam Holbrook. A quartet of replay officials are on duty in New York. All right, here's the word. Tie game or a deficit? Out! And it's tied! David Bell and the Reds see a run come off the board for the Cubs. To the home second, even still at 2. If this year's Red season has been anything, it's been theatrical.
Do not see that play very often.
We've had a triple play. We've had a milestone home run. We've had multiple on-field benches emptying incidents. We had a snow globe effect of a progressive rain to sleet to hail to actual snow to pitching in those conditions. We've seen giant meltdowns and extras. We saw a catcher steal home plate, get reversed. Tyler Naquin seeing some pitches from Trevor Williams. He led off yesterday. Got aboard 3 times, including a double. 3-1. They play a pronounced shift against Naquin. Horner quite deep in shallow right, respecting his power and his line drive nature. That one is up the middle. Baez. 1 down. And now Nick Senzel, who starts today again at second base. Jonathan India healthy off the IL today. Off day coming tomorrow. And as was detailed before the game, Senzel has hit Williams. 2 for 2, 2-run homer. Strike 1. Senzel on this homestand, a laser home run to the left field stands. A sensational diving catch in center. Now he goes opposite way. It's got some foul English. Falls in the stands, foul. Well, many teammates have grabbed a lot of deserved headlines, Lark. It feels like Senzel has been pretty steady under the radar. Very good ABs.
And that's his personality. Just goes about and does his job. Wants to be part of the team. But he's a very valuable part of the team. His versatility, the ability to play second, third base, center field, his power, and his speed. Not a lot of foot speed on this team, but Senzel is definitely one guy who can make things happen on the base paths.
Two. Fouled again.
These players also know what's going on with the roster. And with Shogo Akiyama lurking, and they are not going to play Shogo Akiyama in the minor leagues. Someone is going to have to go out when that happens. So the more versatile you are, the better you're playing at that time for these younger players that have options. There's a sprint to prove yourself right now.
A couple of off days coming. And Akiyama likely also coming sometime this week. Senzel aboard, back-to-back innings with the leadoff walk doled out by Trevor Williams. Excuse me, with walks doled out by Trevor Williams. Now Tucker Barnhart. And Senzel's among the more versatile pieces for this Reds team. Kyle Farmer, another who can play shortstop, second base. You can fill in at third. He can play corner outfield. He can catch. Alex Blandino can profile somewhat similarly.
And he can pitch.
He can pitch. He's shown that. And he can also serve as a spot leadoff guy for you. And perhaps that's the most interesting wrinkle with a guy like Senzel, right? Long pause, knowing the athleticism.
Certainly.
But Senzel, you know, when he led off this last road trip, had a 4-for-4 day. When Kershaw started for the Dodgers, had 3 of those hits against a future Hall of Famer. He seems to hit better as a leadoff man. And maybe you could go platoon right-left with Akiyama in the leadoff spot. Senzel fakes, pitch called a strike, lost on the transfer.
I'm sure Jesse Winker would have a few comments on that topic.
I think that's where you're thinking about trying to find guys on base for Winker. If you could drop him down to the 2-hole, he could still get on at the rate he does. But then when he's hitting, he could pick up more RBIs.
I don't disagree with that concept.
And they've tried it. You know, they tried Blandino in the leadoff spot a few times. They tried Senzel that one day in the leadoff spot. Now, one of the issues if you're dealing with Akiyama, as it is, the Reds have 3 of their first 4 regularly are left-handed. And particularly as long as Suarez is in his funk, I think that kind of forces the hand some on that right-left balance. You could be looking at 4 out of 5 left side. That could leave you a little prone in bullpen matchups, depending upon the opponent. In there for a strike. But these are good problems to have.
They are.
You know, you have some versatile choices, and someone in this game of musical chairs is going to be the odd man out.
And as a player, being a young player in that position, it forces you. Jim Day did mention it. It forces you to really try to lock down your spot. Control the things that you can control.
And that's where the greatest competition comes, right? That can produce the best results on the field. The internal competition against yourself and your teammates.
Certainly.
Senzel an average lead. Missed down off speed by Williams in a full count. Any particular years for you, Lark, that stood out where there was any kind of position competition or batting order competition in year?
I think for every young player, there's always the competition for establishing yourself and establishing your spot on the team.
Senzel goes, swing and a miss, the throw down, throw is there, tag is there. Strike him out, throw him out. Caught stealing 2-6. Javier Baez is an elite defender. Winner of many Fielding Bible Awards and a Gold Glove. No look tag.
Yeah, you want to let the ball travel as far as possible. And the ball's on the third base side. You see Javi get low to the ground because he knows that the tag has to be low. Gets right to the bag. Slaps that tag onto the runner, and there's a lot of things that do go unnoticed by the average fan, but people in the game know. That's why it's so important to have a solid middle infielder up there that can make up for an errant throw, and that throw was on the third base side.
He won his first Gold Glove last year, his 4th Fielding Bible Award as the best defensive shortstop. Malley misses inside to Ian Happ, who was at the plate when Tony Walters tried to rip home from third. Call on the field was safe, a steal of home. On replay, overturned. (2-0). Swing and a miss. Well, Happ, a UC product, he was on his way to MVP candidacy in the first month of last year's shortened season. But the back half did not go well, and that had spilled into the start of this year. And he's had particular trouble with a couple of strikes. Entered the series just 4 for 54 with 2 strikes on him. 2-2. Pops it up. Barnhart, the sky-high look, sheds the mask. Makes the catch. Our Kia player profile on Red starter Tyler Malley. This is what he's done against the Cubs entering today. 8 starts, 3-2. A 3.23 ERA, 2 earned runs or less in 6 of those 8 starts. He has not allowed more than 2 earned runs in any outing this season. Here it is, tied at 2. And that is clubbed to left field. Winker watches. Gone. Kris Bryant's 8th home run. Reds down a score.
Well, we've seen Kris Bryant ambushing fastballs, and yet another fastball up in the zone. And you can see Mahle drop his head as soon as that contact is made. He knows that one is not coming back.
Seven of Bryant's 8 home runs have come off fastballs. Here's a strike to Javier Baez, who has struck out today.
When you were mentioning Ian Happ and his struggles with 2 strikes, immediately my mind went to don't let the pitcher get to 2 strikes. Kris Bryant is now allowing the pitcher to get to 2 strikes. Much easier to hit early in the count because you can be much more aggressive and not as selective, but you get a ball in an area that you like to hit it, as opposed to late where you have to be much more protective and concerned with whether or not that umpire behind the plate is going to call it a strike or a ball.
And that's been part of the recipe for the Reds this year, particularly their best hitters near the top of the order.
And we profiled Jesse Winker and his success swinging at the first pitch, the .419 clip at the time we were talking. And a lot of success when he hits the first or second pitch of the at-bat. And I think that's been the case for most of the guys in the lineup.
Baez pops it. Barnhart chases Rizzo, makes the grab near the circle. 2 down.
Proper way for a catcher to catch a ball in foul territory behind home plate, or even in fair territory, is to throw his mask away and turn his back to the infield, because that ball, when it comes down, will be spinning back towards the infield. Properly done by Tucker Barnhart.
Now Anthony Rizzo skies one to deep right center. Naquin back. That's gone. Fifth home run of the year for Rizzo. Couple of solo shots in the 3rd. Reds down to deuce.
Well, Anthony Rizzo, short, quick to the ball. We mentioned hitting fastballs, a fastball league. And plenty of power for the big fella when he gets extended.
Only Ryan Braun and Lance Berkman have hit more home runs as a visiting player at Great American Ballpark. It's the 22nd for Rizzo.
Lance Berkman. What a hitter. Ryan Braun, great hitter as well. But Berkey, wow. He used to destroy us.
Sharp grounder. Suarez. And that's the inning. Ticket offer today and tomorrow. You can get view-level tickets for only $10. Hurry, the offer ends Monday at midnight. Only available online, reds.com/Mahle. Tyler Mahle fouls back strike 1 against Trevor Williams. Well, Lark, you were all over Now, the Cubs were all over first pitches for Mahle. We've seen that in their run-scoring innings. First pitch swings a giant part of it. Chris Bryant added to that parade along with Anthony Rizzo. Rizzo is now slugging over 1,000 on the first pitch in the last couple of years. He's top 3 in baseball. And that's strike 3. Ball lost, but Mahle gives himself up. No need to throw down. Top of the order, Jesse Winker engineered a 5-pitch walk. Got things going in the first inning. We were just talking during break, Lark, and I'm not sure how you feel about this, but 4-2 as it stands. The Reds have ripped Trevor Williams on his career. This feels like a 10-8, 12-9 kind of a day that you're going to have to hit to win.
It's a Cincinnati Reds, Chicago Cub deciding game. So there's going to be some excitement at some point during this game.
Pretty pitch, backdoor for a strike. Now the Reds have a luxury of an off day coming tomorrow. And they can empty out that bullpen in even more pronounced fashion. Have an extra day of recovery, not just tomorrow, but also in the offing on Thursday. 2 off days coming this week. That is smoked right through the shift.
Well, Wink just continues, back spasms or not, to be productive at the top of this lineup. And he just rips the ball. Defense is properly situated, but he hits it too hard. They don't have a chance to react.
Now, granted, this last occasion he was only out a day, but the stability that Winker has provided with 3 different hiccups of injury, you know, the stomach flu, the subsequent cramping when he first came back in the arid air of the desert, the back spasms, misses a day, couple of days, rakes.
Yeah, pretty much the bottom line. He rakes.
Castellanos has singled and scored. Walters out for a conversation. Recognizing the pivot point. I mean, the Cubs have owned a lot of the fireworks early, and yet the Reds are 1 swing away from a tie game. And while the Reds have 2 off days coming between tomorrow and Thursday, the Cubs will have 3 days off in the next couple of weeks, but they have to face the Dodgers first. 3 games at Wrigley, Monday through Wednesday. Down and in to miss. Now, they have the luxury of a pretty big bullpen right now. They carry 6 right-handers and 3 lefties.
Been very impressed with this team collectively about the good amount of takes that they have put themselves into position to be able to execute. There's another good pitch by Williams and a great take by Castellanos.
Swings 3-0 and drills it. A high fly. He crushed it. Tie game.
Well, the previous pitch was a double play ball, slider down and away, and mentioned the take. Castellanos said, no, I need something I can lift. Gets the fastball, shows the patience, and shows the power. Just really impressed with the approach of these hitters. First month and going into the second month of the season. Castellanos has been a presence at the top of the lineup, as has Winker, as has this man, Joey Votto.
Ball one to Votto. Castellanos, his team-leading 8th home run. That's his first career homer on a 3-0 count. Only a second career hit on a 3-0 count. But I'm telling you, it's that kind of day. This isn't even close to done, I think, on both sides. Castellanos is now tied for the 3rd most homers in baseball, trailing only the Braves' Ronald Acuna Jr. and the Red Sox' J.D. Martinez. Sharply stung, Duffy, the third baseman, playing short in the shift. 2 down. Mike Moustakas will stand in, and we get word there is a transaction for the Reds that affects their 40. Jim Day?
Yeah, the Reds are looking for any depth whatsoever in the pitching ranks and certainly in the bullpen. They have claimed off of waivers from the Rockies a righty, Ashton Goudeau, and designated for assignment lefty Philip Deal, the Moeller High product. And you're going to see a lot of moves like this because they need the depth, particularly in the bullpen, to get through this season. And this will be the first of what will be a few along the way.
Moustakas scolds this one to right. Hayward looks up. Gone! The Reds lead! For Moustakas, his first since coming off the IL.
Slider that doesn't slide, breaking ball that doesn't break. Mike Moustakas can hit a hanger.
He seemed upset with himself with his run-producing ground out in the first inning. He wanted more, and so does Suarez. Are you kidding? He connects and clobbers it off the Reds bullpen. Career hit number 800. It's home run derby at Great American Ballpark.
To see that from Henny. Obviously, we've talked about the struggles that he's had this year, but that's a nice short downward stroke towards the baseball, and no doubt about it, it's a long way. And I'm sure everybody in that dugout is feeling good. Love to see that smile. He smiled through his struggles, but he has such a positive impact on this team, and to see him have some success during this early season of struggles for him is a wonderful thing to see.
That's the best batted ball of the day. 106.3 off the bat, 426 feet for Eugenio Suarez, who has hit 2 monster home runs just off of center field this homestand. Keegan Thompson, the rookie, warms in the Cubs bullpen. Could they make it 3 in a row? Strike one on Tyler Naquin. Three home runs in a 4-run inning and counting. Broken bat sound. Naquin examines the stick and confirms that sound. He needs a new one. This Red season so far has been a roller coaster in the truest sense. The highs have been high, the lows have been low. The fun has still just begun. They have surpassed 40 homers. 41 as a club. It's a foul ball. Playing in just their 27th game. And Lark, the weather hasn't even gotten warm yet. The ball's not supposed to be jumping yet.
Well, this offense has been certainly fun to watch early. This is just a sign of things to come, and it'll be accelerated when the weather gets warm. I'm sure Reds fans are waiting for that capacity to increase with our herd immunity here in Cincinnati and Ohio. Get people down here to enjoy this beautiful ballpark and this exciting team.
They are on pace to hit nearly 250 homers, and that's their pace as of May 2nd.
Well, anytime you throw out some stats and you're rivaling that 75-76 World Series team here in Cincinnati, anytime you're comparing your numbers to theirs, that's saying that you're doing something.
Two. Good check. Count runs full.
Quality of the bats, the quality of the at-bats for these guys all throughout the lineup. It's just been certainly impressive. Tough slider away. Naquin lays off of it. Good pitch right there. He fouls it off.
Another payoff. Down and in. Naquin walks. Walters can't find it. Now able to gather. Naquin sheds the gear. He is the 5th Red to reach base. Just the 2nd to do it without hitting a home run.
But it's taking the pitches that the pitcher wants to throw, the pitcher's pitch. There are pitcher's pitches, and then there's pitches you can hit. If the pitcher makes a perfect pitch, I go back to that Castellanos home run that he hit. The slider before he swung on 3-0, it was a pitcher's pitch. Slider down and in, runner on first base, double play ball. A take. Yet again, another slider down, tough pitch. A ball you probably couldn't do much with, and Senzel takes it.
It's now double barrel in the Cubs bullpen. They have a second right-hander up and throwing. As Trevor Williams' pitch count in the inning has to be climbing. He is now at 68 on the game. check on first. Senzel had walked and was caught stealing. Strike him out, throw him out. Wrapped up the second. This is Williams' 31st pitch of the inning. That's a lot. So generally, once you start getting into that threshold, somewhere in the 30s, between there and 40, the rate of injury spikes dramatically. And even at the big league level, there are few that are allowed to go much beyond that.
And the quality of pitches starts to go out the window as well.
1-0. Way inside. The Cubs have a slew of arms available. Wonder how much more Williams has in the tank if he doesn't retire Senzel. Popped to the stands. Foul ball. The Cubs had double barrel a moment ago. It's now back to one man. Earlier, Keegan Thompson, the rookie, who had not pitched above Double-A. You see him there on the right wearing 71. He had been throwing. And someone else is currently throwing. And Dylan Maples warms currently. Three and one on Senzel. Pitch. Way outside. Back-to-back walks after back-to-back homers. That's 4 walks on the outing for Williams. Naquin up to second. And here comes Dave Ross. There's going to go Trevor Williams. He has both arms available. Does he go to Maples or Thompson? Maples far more established. Thompson has not yet made his big league debut, and it looks like Maples will be on. Our Skyline Chili call to the...
By both teams in the inning so far. It's the first Major League game in Cincinnati with 5 home runs in a single inning since August 23rd of 1961. That was a World Series year for the Reds, the old Ragamuffins team. In a long time since we've seen that here in Cincinnati. Pitcher for the Cubs, it's Dylan Maples. Second time we've seen him in this series through 2 scoreless innings, 4 strikeouts, and the opener of this 3-game set.
He was perfect in those 2 innings and has been a strikeout master on his season. By the way, those 5 home runs that you referenced, the homers hit that day. Cepeda, Felipe Alou, Jim Davenport, Willie McCovey, Willie Mays were the home run hitters in that game. Some heavy hitters.
Covey and Mays.
Well, Tucker Barnhart has struck out, 2 on, 2 out, 4 in 3rd inning. There is ball 1. Barnhart is the 9th Red to hit. Starting pitcher Tyler Mahle, who began the inning with a strikeout, is once again on deck. There's a strike. Maples 20 strikeouts in 11 1/3. Almost 2 Ks an inning. This is the Cubs bullpen on the series. 18 strikeouts in 9 2/3. Only 5 hits. Way outside. 2-1. Grounded sharply up the middle. Baez can't handle it. Everyone's safe. A turn at third. Throw to third. He fell asleep and tagged out. Stop sign was up from J.R. House. Naquin was slow to slam on the brakes. And that's going to do the inning.
Javi Baez bobbles the ball. Understands he probably won't be able to throw out the runner at first base. Throws behind the runner at third, and Duffy applies the tag.
Nimble job to evade the first tag try, but that silences the offense. Nick Castellanos, 3-0. Home run, tie game. Mike Moustakas, smash, one-run lead, and then back-to-back. Eugenio Suarez clobbers the most destroyed pitch of the game so far. The seesaw has shifted back. Red. Jason Hayward leads it off, one pitch. Grounded out weakly to the shallow Moustakas. Plays him that way again. They start him soft with a strike. Now, score, by the way, the batted ball by Barnhart. An error on Javier Baez, just his fifth. Put out goes 6-5 at third. The final line on Trevor Williams. On the hook, 2 2/3. 6 runs all earned on 6 hits. He walked 4, struck out 2, gave up 3 home runs. Skied, playable left. Winker with time extends for the grab. What are you looking for this inning from Mahle in response after his offense picks him up like that?
Well, that was good right there with Jason Hayward. You know that he is a dead red fastball hitter, so you saw him go early, change up, off speed, away. Looking for him just to make adjustments based on the swings of these hitters. Now, Hoerner has been a guy that has just been all over the place and getting on base. So you deal with him accordingly. But, you know, the book on the guy, you look for a pitcher to establish himself, and you see Mahle going to his hat and taking his hat off to remind himself how he's going to attack these hitters. We're looking for execution here.
So what is part of that thought process then for the pitcher? Because the catcher's flashing signs. What is the pitcher focusing on with that info in the hat?
Well, really, the catcher is flashing signs, but the catcher also is reading the swings of the hitter. He's looking at the hitter before he gives the sign to the pitcher. He's looking up to see if the hitter is moving in the box, if he's looking at trying to, like, steal a pitch here or there, steal a sign. And that was a good slider down and away. We talked about execution. So it is definitely the pitcher that is reading, but the catcher has a lot to do with that as well. Hoerner got a base hit on a ball kind of in earlier. That time, slider away. Good adjustment.
Mahle looking for a shutdown inning. Walters is singled opposite way. Takes ball 1. David Bote is in the on-deck circle. Pitcher spot is due up next.
And Walters got a base hit on a ball out over the plate. And you can see right there, 2 fastballs in. And another ball in. So you go to school, you look and see what these guys are doing and how they beat you, and then you counter based on what you see.
Swing and a miss. Walters only has 2 hits and a dozen ABs as a Cub. They both came this series, and they've both gone opposite way. And the outfield reading that too. Winker's very shallow. Many steps to his right in left field. That's probably the most shallow outfield against a non-pitcher that I can recall Winker playing this year.
Well, everybody goes to school. Walters is probably not going to drive the ball over his head, opposite barrel. So you take what you can take. Dare him to try to hit it out there. Come out of his swing, do something a little bit different, and the minute you do anything different, you're susceptible.
Fouled away. Well, those winds are back that we saw yesterday. The flags once again fly fiercely right to left. And we saw many balls in the air to right die a quick and ugly death. Those winds had not been present during that 5 home run barrage in the third. Swing and a miss out in front. Back-to-back Ks and a shutdown inning for Tyler Mahle.
From Cincinnati will win this brand new built in the USA Tundra on display here at Great American Ballpark. Register to win by visiting your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. And Jane DeSelms, the way this game is going, you got a chance.
If there were a day that ball could find the sign, or perhaps even the truck itself, this might be that day.
That's a long way out there, that truck.
If someone hits that truck, they ought to give away the whole dealership.
Tyler Mahle leads it off. Dylan Maples still on. Hard foul ball. Mahle had led off that 4-run third. And by the way, some ugly news. White Sox and Cleveland playing today. Luis Robert very awkwardly picked up all weight off his right foot going through the first base bag and collapsed down onto the ground. Of course, Chicago sending the White Sox here to Great American Ballpark. A 2-game tryst starts Tuesday. And Robert, one of the great young stars in the game, it did not look good.
No, it didn't.
The Reds were also set to face Carlos Rodon, who flirted with a perfect game through a no-hitter. But apparently they've juggled their rotation. He is now not set to start against the Reds. And that is there for a called strike 3. First K for Maples, top of the order, Jesse Winker.
You talk about going to school, and Winker's a left-handed hitter, so it doesn't really apply to him. But Maples looks to be very comfortable pitching on the third base side of the plate. So as a right-handed hitter, I know I mentioned it last time we saw him pitch. He throws that slider to the hip of that right-handed hitter. So look to see if he does that consistently with right-handed hitters when they come up.
Strike 1 to Winker. Now, the Reds have the luxury of lefties in 3 of their top 4 spots. The only exception is Castellanos on deck. Down it in. And the Cubs had Bodie ready to hit in the pitcher's spot had Walters reached, but they have nobody throwing in the bullpen right now. They've got a patchwork a number of innings, with still a series coming against the Dodgers at Wrigley. Dodgers have been tangling with the Brewers. That was a thriller yesterday. Sharp ground ball. Nice handle on the low bound by Rizzo. Maples flashes to the bag. Do you have a feel for much of this division or of Major League Baseball as it stands 1 month in, or is it too premature to really know the identities of these teams?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is still a little premature. I do know this. This Cincinnati Reds ball club can hit. And that is, I'm sure, echoed throughout the league. And that's what you build your club around. You get the pitching that you need. You go out there and consistently expect to score runs. It's a good combination. You know, as a player, you think about, you watch to see the highlights, who's doing what. But you worry about the things you can control. Worry about your own team.
Two on Castellanos. Yeah, quick look around the standings. You see the Royals rocking the best record in baseball. Oakland atop the American League West. Red Sox have an offense built similarly to the Reds. They own the AL East, while the Giants on top of the Dodgers by only a half game in the West. Dodgers still banged up. The National League East is putrid. There's not a single winning team. They've clobbered one another. And the Brewers, best record in the National League. Frozen for a moment. Rizzo waits. His pitcher beats Castellanos. 1-2-3 inning. An easy out with her infants and toddlers while making lifelong memories, enjoying the fun of Reds baseball. Visit Reds.com/rookies. Enter to win a free Reds Rookies membership. Minor league season gets underway on Tuesday. The Next Generation Plus, lots of power in the low minors ranks for the Reds hitters. The big prospects will largely be at Double-A, Hunter Green, Nick Lodolo, Jose Garcia, Eric Sogard. To center field, Naquin waiting on the ball's descent. Our storyline for the game brought to you by Elk and Elk, the Chattanooga Lookouts. 7th overall pick in Lodolo, who sits 94 with his fastball. Hunter Green is a triple digits man. Profiles as a major impact arm. And Jose Garcia, Mark, you had a chance to work with Garcia some. What do you see in him on his career? And anything you can tell for this year?
Well, he struggled last year when he came up here, and I think everybody struggled with the COVID thing, but obviously he was not ready and made some adjustments this offseason. Hopefully he'll get a chance to go play at Double-A and be under the tutelage of Ricky Gutierrez, find himself, and be ready to go. But a lot of good stuff happening with those threes in particular. A lot of good stuff coming.
So when you're learning how to face higher level pitching and you're in an off season, how do you work on that? Do you find a pitcher that can throw to you? Do you make sure you avail yourself to winter leagues in a normal year?
Well, at that level, you find yourself. And that's the reason why guys go to the minor leagues, is to try to find themselves. You have to fail in order to know what not to do. Therefore, you can know what to do, because it's a process of elimination. How do you know what you can do if you don't try? And so I think what happens a lot of times in the minor leagues is that you just go out there and try different things, and you can eliminate that and say, nope, that doesn't work for me, or that does. And what does work for Mahle is a well-located fastball. And there it is. Didn't quite see the movement nor the velocity earlier in the game. Good pitch right there.
Very willing to throw up and in, particularly against lefties. There's up and in to Chris Bryant. RBI double and a homer. Now, Bryant and Rizzo each went deep, solo shots in the third. That's the 7th time Bryant and Rizzo have homered in the same inning. 4 of those 7 came against the Reds.
And they know that.
That one boomed. One-run game.
You can see the reaction from Mahle. Cement mixer right there. Slider that didn't slide. You hang it, we bang it.
I think that'd be a good commercial. Down and away to Baez, who struck out. Foul popped. Pass Suarez at short. Baez turns, a wide berth. He holds. His first knock of the day. Back-to-back two-out hits.
He does not get cheated. And he does a good, Jesse Winker does a good job of cutting that ball off and coming up and throwing to second base because Javi Baez is coming out of the batter's box thinking that ball's in the gap. I'm going to possibly get a double out of this. Winker does a nice job of pulling Baez at first base.
Derek Johnson out for a talk. Two arms are up in the Cubs bullpen again. Thompson still just stands and watches. Now drops the ball in the bag. Alec Mills now warms for the Cubs, and Sean Doolittle is up and warming for the Reds. And there's Sean Doolittle, who we've seen in the series. Saw him just yesterday behind Luis Castillo. Anthony Rizzo has homered. Ball one. 3 home runs allowed by Mahle, most he's allowed in a game in his last 17 starts. Sweeps for a strike. Grounded to the shift. Senzel. Clean flick, and that's the inning. Cubs draw within one more. Deep shot by Kris Bryant. Two for the Cubs in the third to claim the lead. Kris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo, a pair of solo shots, but the Reds responded and then some. All 9 came to the plate. Nick Castellanos tied it. 3-0, swinging away. Mike Moustakas put the Reds on top. His third. And Eugenio Suarez, the 800th hit of his career, his second home run of the homestand. The Cubs draw within one more. Kris Bryant tacks on his third extra base hit of the game. That's how we stand 6-5, bottom 5. And the Reds to face one of the Cubs' top 15 prospects in his big league debut, Keegan Thompson. Up and in, appeal. He did not go. Sam Holbrook, crew chief at third base. And Thompson, welcome to the show. You got to face Joey Votto.
That's what you want. You want your introduction into the show to be against one of the elite hitters in the game. You dream about this. Now, I didn't necessarily want to face like a Nolan Ryan or anyone like that. But as a pitcher, you want to face the elite hitters.
And Votto was certainly that, an RBI single today. And Thompson, a highly heralded prospect. He's had some elbow issues. Down and in a miss. Had Tommy John during his collegiate days at Auburn. Still got drafted third round 2017. And then missed most of 2019. Elbow inflammation. Had a PRP injection. Michael Lorenzen just had a PRP injection. Votto tips a foul. He did pitch in 3 games to end that year and did very well in the prestigious Arizona Fall League, where almost 2/3 of the players that go to the Fall League wind up in the big leagues. That's a big deal.
A lot of prospects out there. It's a great league. Great opportunity for guys to play with different players around the league.
And Votto walks.
Some of our coaches, the development of the players is Arizona Fall League is important, but development of some of our minor league coaches to get a chance to coach in that league. You not only coach your own players, but players from different leagues. They take 4 or 5 different teams and put their players, prospects together to formulate a team out in Arizona. It's a great league.
Moustakas is homered, bounced into a double play that produced a run. Up the middle, Baez, nice backhand peck on a low bound, calmly stomps the bag and flicked to first. That's a tough play that he made look very easy.
Yeah, Javi Baez is really good out there. He just moves like a cat out there. You can see the quickness. What you look for from a shortstop is to play low to the ground. Look where he catches this ball, how low he is to the ground, and steps on the bag. And growing up, he and Francisco Lindor played together. Imagine that little league team.
Good luck on balls up the middle. There's a reason he has the nickname El Mago, Spanish for the magician. Suarez off the glove of Baez. Oh, this is a big day for Eugenio Suarez. 2 well-hit base knocks.
Yeah, well, hopefully Henny is starting to figure it out. Ball out over the plate. See the balance right there in the swing. 2 days ago, that ball was caught by Baez. Today, the tide is turning for Henny.
Now Tyler Naquin, who was grounded out and walked. When Thompson was in college, the curveball was his out pitch. As a pro, it's a tight, low 80 slider. Fastball nips for a strike. He's not a super high velo guy. He's got to locate. And he's got to have some nerves on a day like today. Two. You mentioned how the Fall League rosters are cobbled together. That's one of the many reasons why, including the showcase world, even when players arrive in the big leagues, there are more established relationships with players on other teams than there ever used to be.
Yes. And with the interleague play now, certainly.
Thompson, in his big league debut, called upon to face 3 lefties. The only right-hander is Suarez, who got the single. Opposite way, beat the shift. Tyler Naquin's first hit. Back-to-back 2-out base knocks.
Backdoor breaking ball. Stay balanced, stay back. Hit it where it's pitched. Good bit of hitting.
So now 2 aboard for Nick Senzel. Was walked twice. Grounded to second. Horner feeds Baez. And in the state of Ohio to purchase. Buy now at Reds5050.com. Tyler Mahle faces Matt Duffy, who's 0 for 2. Strike one. Many, by the way, sleeping on the Dodgers, who the Reds just beat in the series out in L.A. Dodgers making some noise against the Brewers today. The Brewers lead the Red Central Division, lead the National League in terms of record. The Dodgers have hit 2 grand slams and lead 9-0. Matt Beatty and A.J. Pollock each have a granny. It is a funny game as the Reds look to take this series. They are 1-2 in rubber match games. The only win in the opening set against the Cardinals. Just off the plate. Full count on Duffy. Hayward on deck. Payoff. To right field. Base hit. Extra bases for Duffy. Castellanos gathers. Duffy, given the stop sign from Willie Harris, holds with a double.
What is good hitting? Good hitting is not trying to do too much. Good hitting is staying behind the baseball. Good hitting is getting into position early and making a good swing decision. And that's what we just saw from Duffy right there. Ball away, foot down early, stay behind the baseball, not try to do too much with it, let the pitcher supply the power, double down the right field line.
Tyler Mahle goes 5 innings plus a man. He's only gone more than 5 once all year.
Yesterday, it did allow an inherited run to score. 12 games, 2-0 record, 4.35 ERA for Doolittle.
Very similar spot to what happened yesterday. Doolittle entered in the 6th. They were a couple of men on to face Hayward. He struck him out. The man on deck, Nico Horner, first pitch singled to right, drove in what proved to be the game-winning run for the Cubs. So here's a man on second, nobody out. Hayward's 0 for 2. Hayward has hit fastballs really well, has struggled terribly against all off-speed. To Votto, it'll move the runner. Foot race to first on a slide. Votto beats Hayward. One out, but Duffy now at third base.
Well, you mentioned it, partner. Fastball hitter. Gets a fastball, strikes it well. Joey Votto with the pop-up slide at first base, beating Hayward.
So now infield in. Horner has been very aggressive early in counts. What do you want to see here?
Well, you concern yourself with a bunt here also. To try to crowd this hitter. That's it right there. Try to crowd him and not let him get his arms extended. Looking for some soft contact here.
Cubs have been very aggressive, particularly with runners from third. Moustakas hovers in pickoff range. And that one is ripped. Left field, base hit. Duffy scores, Horner turns, Winker pivots and fires to second base, cut off by Suarez. RBI double for Horner. And it's a tie game.
You can see Doolittle trying to crowd Horner. He does it. Horner beats him to the spot. Double down the left field line. Wasn't hard to contact.
Barnhart out for Chat. Left on left. Doolittle facing Tony Walters. He struck him out looking yesterday. Reds have activity. Lucas Sims is now up and warming. 3-batter minimum. This is the third hitter for Doolittle. On deck in the pitcher spot, David Bodie, who was on deck several innings ago. Pitcher spot did not come up. That's when Walters struck out to end the visiting fourth. Large lead at second for Horner, and he runs on Doolittle, who has him in a pickoff. Fire to third. The tag! Out! Oh, they tried to run on Doolittle. They did so with great success yesterday, and they duped him.
Little inside move right here. Lefty slow to the plate, does an inside move. I don't believe Horner even knew that he stepped off.
And you could feel like something like that coming. The Cubs had been so aggressive. They had been almost telegraphing moves like that. Swing and miss from Walters.
But there's Horner again, another guy. And we mentioned it, that his teammates were talking about him being in the lineup every day because of all the things that he makes happen. Double down the line today. Base hit yesterday, RBI. Trying to make stuff happen on the base paths. When you're a team that's struggling and you want a fire starter, that's the kind of player you want in the lineup.
He's filled in some as their leadoff man, with Happ still struggling some on the season. That one in the air to left. That's been the book on Walters. Reds play it perfectly. Winker makes the catch. Stat leaderboards and more for your Reds and the rest of the league. Well, David Ross has been very aggressive today with his runners. It's worked some. It's burned him some. Tony Walters from third base tried to steal home. Call on the field was that he did. That he slid under the tag, but it did not hold up under video replay. And then trying to run on Sean Doolittle. They did that with reckless abandon and great success yesterday. Veteran move there to dupe him today.
Yeah, the inside move was the proper move, and you set up that runner but not looking at him, and you're alerted that they're trying to be aggressive. That's what you want when you're a team that's struggling and trying to find your footing. You want guys to be aggressive, put the pressure on the defense.
Alec Mills, the new pitcher. Breaking ball, dribbled, no man's land, tough play, lost by Baez. Second time a ball has eluded his normally outstanding glove today. Barnhart's on.
You can see that ball right there, and that ball is to the right of Javi Baez, who's playing on the second base side. And even if he catches that ball, don't know if he has time to throw the ball to first base, and they scored a base hit.
Single for Barnhart, who also got aboard on the error by Baez, but backside they nailed Naquin, who had turned at third base. Pitcher spot, Alex Blandino stands in. That means we almost assuredly will see Lucas Sims next half inning. Strike one. Mills is a guy that can give the Cubs innings. Has started once this year, started 11 times last year. And threw a no-no. That was on September the 13th in Milwaukee. 9 innings, no runs, no hits, struck out 5, walked 3. Two. Called strike 3.
That's that front door breaking ball. It's tough on a right-handed hitter. We've seen it from a few of these Cubs pitchers. Front door breaking ball freezes the right-handed hitter. The ball just breaks on the inner half.
That's one of the challenges, right? A guy who has been a starter, he has a true 5-pitch mix. He goes sinker, four-seamer, curve, change, and slider. Jesse Winker has been very much see ball, hit ball. Single, walk, 2 runs scored. A little early on strike 1. Mills is not a hard thrower. Both the sinker and the four-seamer rest at 89. The sinker plays a lot better. Four-seamer has been hit to a 500 average. Had some cut to it and a little more velo life than Mills has shown on the year, but then again, working in relief, can let it all hang out a touch more. Sims once again warms in the Reds bullpen. 1-1. Just a little early. He clobbered it off the top deck LED board. When you talk about the let the kids play, the celebration movement, Winker's right at the 4. He has a ton of fun. 1-2. Breaking ball. Looped in the air to the left. Longer chug for Bryant. That falls foul.
67-mile-an-hour breaking ball.
Old school.
We've seen Zach Greinke drop a little 60-mile-an-hour eephus pitch.
Yeah, the absurdity of Greinke, it's been chronicled in similar fashion of Otto by his teammates, that kind of second-person view, that he'll just call his pitches before innings. 1-2, way inside, got him. Winker's got first base, but at what expense? Where did it get him?
Hopefully it got him on the back of that protective. Yep. That still hurts. Not a lot of meat to protect that area right there. And on the backside of the elbow.
A big chance here, 2 aboard. 1 out. Nick Castellanos, 2 hits, a 2-run homer. First pitch. Scalded through the left side, base hit. Bryant scoops, stop sign at third, throw in, cut off by Duffy. That's a wise move to hold Barnhart. Bases loaded.
Castellanos once again being super aggressive. Hitting a bullet past Duffy at third base, and that ball gets to Bryant quickly. You can see J.R. House with the definitive stop sign. And as you're a runner coming around third base, you can see that ball, but you really rely on that third base coach, and he's got to be in your view. You've got to make sure you touch that bag, so you can't really look at him kind of see him as you're looking at that bag. You definitely need to step on that bag. And you see third base coaches working on this. There is that designated line where they're supposed to coach from, but they're running all up and down that line trying to get in the perfect position where they can see the play developing and that runner can see them put up the sign whether to go or stop.
You ready for this? Joey Votto, bases loaded. Strike one. 4 grannies on Votto's career. RBI single and a walk today. That's what he's done with Men in Prime Real Estate on the campaign. For those of you that believe in clutch, that would be a representation of the number, no?
Absolutely.
Out in front.
Veteran pitchers have a tendency to go soft. Use the enthusiasm of the hitter against him.
Tie game, 6th inning, bases loaded, 1 out. Mills set. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Votto done on strikes.
And once again, veteran pitchers have a tendency to go soft. You can see the changeup. Well-executed pitch from Mills.
Reds left him loaded twice yesterday. Lost by a run. They had bases loaded, 1 out. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Strike one to Moustakas. If a ball gets away from Walters, the infield is so deep with a heavy shift, you might be able to get 2 runs, depending upon the camera. Big lead at third for Barnhart. 0-2. The pitch. Down. And more off speed from Mills.
I would suspect that he's going to go back to it. Figure a fastball hitter, looking for a fastball, trying to change the score and do damage.
Overcast day. The Moose calls come. Moose with the shades on. Barnhart creeps. And that one is a loud foul. He destroyed that.
That was a breaking ball. I would suspect that Mills is going to try to take a little bit more off this one.
Barnhart's nearly halfway home. Wide lead at third. Way inside and hit him, and the Reds take the lead.
certainly were not expecting that one. And that was the fastball. Thought that Mills would go back to something off speed. Decided to go with the fastball. Pulled it.
So now with the Reds on top, Eugenio Suarez, who while on deck was beaming, smiling, waving to fans in the stands. Strike one. Suarez, 2 hits today, just his second multi-hit game of the year. His first since April the 10th. The average is up 16 points. Right side wide open, they shift him the pull. 1-1. Ground ball through! Base hit! Winker scores! Castellanos green light! The throw home too tall! Castellanos slides in! Suarez up to second! A 2-run base hit and a 3-hit day for Eugenio Suarez! Reds 9, Cubs 6.
Suarez starting to feel it. Calming down. Starting to get better pitches. Keeping his balance. Aggressiveness on the base paths. Castellanos with a great secondary lead, and Suarez is celebrating.
Good vibes only. Oh, man, you're happy for a guy like that who busts it every day. He has endured a horrific year. He needed an afternoon like this.
For sure.
Tyler Naquin, Reds not done just yet. Breaking ball down and in. This game is far from over. This is really early. Suarez is up to 150. His first 3-hit game of the year. Way inside. Mills has hit 2 batters in the inning. Into the Cubs dugout. Three crooked numbers for the Reds today. They were down a run before they grabbed their bats. They hung a 2 spot in the first. They put 4 on the board with 3 homers in the third. Now in the midst of a 3-run and counting 6th. Second and third, 2 outs. 2-1. High in the air, playable right. Out goes Horner, gives ground to the better position Hayward. He makes the catch. But a big inning for the Reds.
A lot of runs scored today, and the Reds looking for someone out of the bullpen to be a stopper. That would be Lucas Sims, they hope. And true sign that if you're a bullpen pitcher, a reliever, you better be like a cornerback in football and have a short memory. Last time out, 3 walks for Sims. It was an off outing. Back on the beam now.
First pitch way inside to pinch hitter David Bodie in the pitcher spot. Now, yes, he did have 3 walks. But look at where those pitches were. He actually had 3 saves in that inning. He had strike 3 times. And that misses up. The Reds have reasonable gripe twice, both with Sims pitching and also with their hitters in the 9th inning. 2 different ABs, the Blandino AB and the Naquin AB, that were both backward Ks. Those weren't strikes. At some point, you have to adjust. You have to protect as a hitter with 2 strikes. Maybe as a pitcher, you can't be so marginal and on the edge, but we can more concretely look at strike zones today more than ever. Sims has actually been pretty on.
And as a player, from a player's perspective, John, it's agree with everything you said, but it's all about what that umpire behind the plate is calling. The only thing that you ask for is that there is consistency there. You can gripe about the consistency or lack thereof, but when you're in the heat of the moment, you've got to, if you're an offensive player, you've got to protect with 2 strikes, and don't give that guy an opportunity to call you out on the backward K.
And similarly for a pitcher, you're going to go through that from time to time. And that's one of the challenges of being a big leaguer.
And it is incredibly frustrating.
Yeah. That's the greatest challenge, right? Just mentally getting over, I've already done this.
Exactly.
And for Sims, it comes in 2 outings that leap to mind. That last outing with those 3 walks, and also pitching in that, horrendous conditions. The big domino of the Diamondback series. Ian Happ goes opposite way. He loves hitting in this ballpark. His 2nd hit of the afternoon. And now a quick word from La Rosa's.
Strikeouts for Slices from La Rosa's is back. When the Reds tally 11 strikeouts, text Reds, and you could win a free small 1-topping pizza from La Rosa's.
Well, Chris Bryant stands in. What a day. A double, 2 homers. Up to 330 on the year. Fastball strike. There's the comparison last year to this. Now, Bryant was banged up last year, but look at that. He has doubled or more so his production from last year.
Say last year wasn't a full season, and it's tough. It's a different ball game when you think about playing 162 games as opposed to a 60-game truncated season. You have the time to establish yourself in the longer 162. In the 60 game, it's about winning right now. So you see guys kind of go away from their foundation to do whatever it is they need to do in order to win that game on that particular day, because there is a sense of urgency.
Bryant is swinging at a career low number of pitches out of the zone. But the 2 strikes this AB, fastball paint away, slider paint away. Votto. 2 down, Happ to second. Sims lived away and had success against Bryant. Now Baez, who was very emotional and a quote machine for the Cubs yesterday in the wake of the on-field fracas when he hurdled the padded railing and hand motioned for Amir Garrett to come to him.
And he talked about respecting the game and respecting the opposition. And I think that was the situation, or his interpretation of the situation, why he went over the top rail to go out and argue with Amir Garrett. He talked about doesn't care that teams celebrate as long as they celebrate towards their bench and not towards the opposition.
Could we see Garrett at some point today? It's early still. Ball one. And one of Baez's issues this year offensively is he's become very pull heavy. In his better offensive years, he's able and willing to go opposite way, but he's going opposite way at a career low rate. That's part of why the Reds have shifted the infield with a man at second base. Not a true shift. Senzel is more up the middle, outfield grass at second base. Appeal, he did not go. Anthony Rizzo awaits on deck, left-handed bat who is homered. An aggressive strike. Baez is striking out more than any other big leaguer. Entered the day 40% strikeout rate. Sims going to be a strikeout pitcher. In the air, Winker. Foul to the stands, 2-2. Center field. Naquin watches. Baez destroys it. 2-out, 2-run homer. It's back to a 1-run game.
Javi Baez does not get cheated. 97-mile-an-hour fastball, and as soon as he touches this ball, he knows that ball is gone. That's a long way.
David Bell is out. Looks like Alex Blandino's coming on. And I think Blandino looks like is going to play second.
It's Farmer.
Oh, Farmer, excuse me. Well, Farmer in, and Naquin's going to come out. Senzel's going to move to center field.
Game at second base. He is now shifted to center field, all to make way for yet another pitcher, and that being T.J. Antone in what is now a 1-run game. And we've seen Antone save the day many times, and they hope he does it again.
20 strikeouts in 14 innings. He has been elite. And we received ballots to vote for player, pitcher, rookie of the month in the National League. First pitch to Anthony Rizzo, pumped in for a strike. And accompanying with that is a short list of names and numbers. And Antone was on that list with only about a dozen total names.
I'm usually pretty objective when I vote, but it was a nearly all homer vote for me this time around.
To first base, Votto on a bent knee. Takes it himself, and that's going to help Antone. If the Reds want to get 2 1/3 from him, big help to get that quick ground ball out. We have a 1-run game, and it's time now for God Bless America.
As they face the American flag. Major League Baseball, the Reds, and the Cubs salute the men and women of our armed forces, as well as those who serve to protect in our local police and fire departments. At this time, please help us honor these brave men and women and all our veterans of service, and welcome Ben Walls as he leads us in the singing of God Bless America.
Oh, God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
On sunglasses, you're forced to squint a bit, but your eyes don't lie. 23 total hits, 17 combined runs. Reds up a score. Telling you, I'm feeling double digits might be in the offing here. New hurler for the Cubs. Justin Steele is on. 9 Ks and 5 1/3, just 1 walk. Makes his 5th appearance. He'll face the bottom third, starting with Nick Senzel. How about this nugget from Statsman extraordinaire Joe Lucca? So the Reds, against relievers in 2021, have an OPS of 795. That's pretty darn good. Remember, relievers today throw harder than ever. They're more specialized than ever. There's a hard foul from Senzel. Only the Colorado Rockies have a higher OPS against relievers, and that's on base plus slugging. It's one of the better metrics to judge overall success of hitting. 0-1. Cracked foul. Today, the Cubs bullpen 3 1/3, allowing 3 runs, 5 hits. Two downstairs. Tucker Barnhart on deck. In the hole, Kyle Farmer. He's now in the 9th position as the double switch as he entered along with Antone. Smashed foul. Steele was recalled before the Thursday finale against the Braves and made his major league debut earlier in the season, where the Cubs had 3 relievers hit the COVID IL. None of them tested positive. Reaching swing down to a knee, got a piece. The Steele pitched in the series opener. Won a couple of innings, 1 unearned run, and struck out 5. One-two. Grounded left side, hard charge for Duffy. Senzel can fly, and he eats it. The speed of Senzel, infield hit.
Fouled off the pitch before, a really tough pitch. You mentioned going down to a knee and then give himself a chance. And you can see just a little chip. The speed of Nick Senzel gets tied up a little bit, but still is able to get out. And then you can see the speed, the acceleration. Duffy has to eat it.
And he stumbled a little bit out of the box. That's how quick he is, and that's also his athleticism recovering so cleanly. Tucker Barnhart swing and a miss. Barnhart at 300, detailed in the open the amazing production the Reds have enjoyed from their catching ranks. Way inside. Barnhart and Stevenson have been a deadly duo, one of the best in baseball. You do have a lefty up there, and if there's any runner the Cubs have paid attention to, and with good reason, it's been Senzel. He measures a light lead. Just misses. Three and one. Granted, only a handful of outings, but Steele entered this game with one walk on the year. Left on left with a right-hander on deck. 3-1. Smash to right field. Hayward back. Bye-bye baseball, Tucker Barnhart.
Well, John, we talked about the production of the two catchers. Tucker Barnhart has been exceptional this year. You mentioned it before this at-bat, hitting 300, but his ability to take the loop out of his swing and be short and direct to the ball and lefty on lefty, that's a great stroke right there.
8 home runs in the game, 4 aside. Kyle Farmer, shift comes late. Pitch misses away. Most home runs in a game at Great American Ballpark since late August 2018. There were 9 in a game against the Brewers. All perfectly positioned. Corner had just moved before that second pitch, exactly there. 1 down. Top of the order and Jesse Winker. $16,755, the attendance just announced. Every game has seen 16,000 plus, capacity now at 40%. Overhand breaking ball clips the inner edge for a strike.
And it's getting pretty loud in here.
It is.
Can't wait till we get a few more folks in here. This team keep hitting the way they're hitting. It's going to bring people down. Turning the turnstiles. Want to be part of something special. This team has been special this year so far.
This is one of the most potent and explosive offenses in baseball. And these players knew it. After a spring training that didn't open a ton of eyes. That's what spring training is for. It's just to get ready. Votto hinted at it. Winker talked about it. The resolute belief and confidence in this offense.
Yeah, there was a lot of belief and confidence, but there was also a lot of injuries. So, yeah, you want to get ready, but it's about being ready. Joey Votto, we didn't know if he was going to be ready for opening day. A lot of injuries in spring training, especially to the pitching staff as well.
You're right. Michael Lorenzen still is not in that group. David Bell was asked about Lorenzen today, and Said he took to the PRP injection well, but he's still weeks away from any form of baseball activity. Swing and a tip held on to by Walters. First K for Steele.
We've seen that from Jesse Winker a few times in the past. He's used to making contact when he swings that hard.
This Reds team began the day leading baseball in runs scored. Almost 5.5 per game. Even more pronounced at home, where it's about 8 runs a game. Castellanos stings one to right field. And another! The 4th hit, the 2nd homer of a stellar day for Nick Castellanos. 5 homers for the Reds. It's 12-8.
Well, Nick Castellanos talked about wanting to be in the company of elite hitters. How do you do that? Hit the ball all over the ballpark. I think of Miguel Cabrera, Albert Pujols. Elite hitters right there. Line drive to right field, home run.
He is tied for the major league lead with 9 home runs. Now the Reds know they've got TJ Antone in the game. A 4-run lead. Hard grounder to the shifted Horner. Inning. But 3 tack-on runs. There are 4/Bally. TJ Antone down and away to Matt Duffy. Antone hyper efficient, getting a quick ground out from Anthony Rizzo. First man he faced. Put a bow on the visiting 7th. Down and away. Off day tomorrow. Another off day to come on Thursday. How much juice can the Reds squeeze out of Antone? He's one of the best versatile weapons in relief today. He's a big fan of the pitching ninja. He calls that the SportsCenter top 10 for today's pitchers. Moustakas backs up at third and pops for a strike. So be on the lookout for some little pieces of pitching ninja love. Sheathing a sword on a check swing with the bat held out like a sword. Maybe a little K strut, hop off the hill. That's there for a strike. Oh, Duffy's got to be careful here. Full count. Payoff. Foul to back. Another payoff. Just away. And now a quick word from Miami Valley Gaming.
Shimmy on down and get ready to get lucky at Miami Valley Gaming.
Awesome. Word Heyward out of town. Max Scherzer, a CG today in 2 hours, 37 minutes. Was able to get in and out of the ballpark to be with his wife, who's in labor. Shades of Tom Browning there.
Yep.
Strike one on Heyward, who's 0 for 3. A 4-run game. What's some of the dialogue in the dugout here?
Well, you certainly want your pitcher not to walk anybody at any point. But you will trade outs. I won't say it too late. For runs. You just want outs. Let's just get outs. Don't give them runs. Let's just get outs.
Duffy, a slightly larger lead. Grounded left side, Moustakas. Shovel to Suarez, snap it on to first. Double play, no! Safe, the call at first.
Well, Jason Heyward can run. Moustakas does a nice job. It's the turn and
yeah.
Looks like the umpire got it right.
Well, 5-6 fielder's choice. Nico Horner has been very pesky at the plate. Castellanos makes the glove. Heyward halfway, jogs back.
The more we see of that Horner, the more you like him. Seems to have a really good approach to the game and make things happen. Hopefully that's the last time we see him this series.
He is a good player, and this year's a little telling. Wilson Contreras is one of the Cubs' best bats. Had been leading off. Miss outside. Now, granted, right-handed hitter. But if he were fully healthy, you would maybe think about hitting him here, letting him catch the rest of the way. Down and in. And Dave Ross said that he was loosely available. 2 outs. This doesn't scream that circumstance, but on the day the ball's carried, he entered the series as the Cubs' best power bat. Just misses. It may be moot with Walters ahead 3-0. Just on the inside edge. Strike two. Now, Antone's normally on in higher leverage spots, but it's interesting to watch how often his fellow relievers watch. Many of them are standing, leaning on the fencing in left center. Heyward goes way inside. Walters walks. Make sure you stay tuned after every Reds broadcast of Bally Sports Ohio, including today. Post-game show, Reds Live, brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. BG and Chris Welsh on the scene. Tying run on deck, Jake Marisnick to hit here. That's in the 9th spot. If he reaches, Ian Happ was busted out of a prolonged funk in a ballpark that he loves to hit in. Waits on deck. That's softly into right. Castellanos hard charge. Wave is on for Hayward. Castellanos scoops. Wisely lobs it towards second base. Don't give an extra bag. Hayward scores. Walters to third.
Fastball in on the hands of Marisnik. Doesn't get out of the box right away. I don't know if he knew where that ball was going. After the swing, he just kind of stands there. Whoop, oh, there it is. Nobody had a chance to make a play on that ball.
Derek Johnson out for a conference. Tying run at the plate. And the Reds have Heath Hembree getting ready in their bullpen, who has been excellent veteran presence. Could we also perhaps see down the stretch, still a lot of time to come, Amir Garrett, particularly if we saw a Garrett-Baez matchup. Well, the Reds have one mound visit left. Cubs have a couple. First and third, tying run at the plate. Happ a two-hit day. Ball one. Happ did not have an extra base hit for 75 consecutive ABs. And then first pitch of the game, bang, a double to right. Off-speed strike. One. Wild swing and miss. Antone has retweeted in the last week plus some mentions of the nickname and some gifs of Captain Hook. He gets a ton of Ks on his curveball. 1-2. And that is clobbered. Right field. Gone. Tie game.
Sounds like a lot of UC Bearcat fans here in Cincinnati. At the game, you could see a hanging breaking ball.
Chris Bryant, 2 homers and a run-scoring double, takes a strike. 10 home runs combined in the game. It ties the record for the most at Great American Ballpark ever. April 14th, 2014 against the Pirates. 0-2. And partner, it has felt like this from the first inning.
Well, you certainly called it early. Entertaining game today for sure.
0-2 in the dirt. This is probably Antone's last man either way. Lose him, assuredly Hembree comes in. Even you get him, I would think Hembree would begin next inning. 1-2. Fouled away. .24 combined runs, 28 combined hits, 10 combined home runs. That's it, caught clean. But a couple of walks burn the Reds as Ian Happ launches a 3-run homer. Tied at 12. Brought to you by Ford. Built Ford proud. The Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore, is open daily. And thanks to the Sargent Family Foundation, active duty military and veterans receive free admission. For details, visit redsmuseum.org. Well, the Reds burned by a couple of walks, one exchanged on fielder's choice. They both came in on a 3-run homer. Walks have been a bugaboo for this man. The new pitcher is Dan Winkler. We saw him author a scoreless and hitless inning yesterday against the Reds. A .93 ERA, more than a strikeout an inning, but 7 walks in 9 2/3. Mike Moustakas, first pitch, high in the air in foul English. It soared above the foul pole as it twisted well foul. The ball is flying.
It is.
Winkler is the 6th pitcher used by the Cubs. Remember, they had 9 arms in their bullpen start of the day. Down and in. Moustakas, part of the home run barrage. Also got hit by a pitch. That came in the 6th inning. That came with the bases loaded. Helped to push home Tucker Barnhart. Back our way. Oh, a nice catch made downstairs, right below us. Dad on the fly hands it to his son, who, by the way, is wearing number 2 Nick Castellanos jersey T-shirt. Going to see more of those. He's now the tri-leader in the big leagues in home runs. Well hit to the open gap. That's down. Base knock. Moustakas turns on the Jets. Happ gathers, fires, offline, head first slide, and a double for Moose.
Ball into the gap, right out of the box. Moustakas hits his ball very well. Keeps his balance. Seeing the outfielders converge, he's going to definitely challenge the boys. Showing the speed.
He feels the need. Eugenio Suarez having himself a day. 3 hits. Delayed call of strike 1. 3 hits, 3 RBIs, a home run for Suarez. Suarez's home run, the subject of our StatCast breakdown, powered by Google Cloud. The loudest bang of the day. 426 feet, a home run in all but one of the 30 big league ballparks.
What ballpark does that ball not go out of?
It's a good question.
And I love this at bat right now. Runner on second base. And Henny is obviously attempting to hit the ball to right field. And I think that's what Javi Baez is calling the pitcher and the catcher in for. Easiest pitch to hit that way is a fastball elevated out over the plate. You guys know that he's trying to go that way. So act accordingly, pitch accordingly. But
Suarez was off Down and away would get swing and miss out of the zone. He has been more patient here today. Upstairs he. Winkler's first strikeout. Pitcher spot due up. And Tyler Stevenson is on to pinch hit. So that means Antone is done. Hembree continues to stand in the Reds bullpen. Will he enter a tie game or with the lead? Ball one. What allows Stevenson to be such a good up-the-middle, opposite-way hitter?
I think it's his approach. He's always been a guy that's been conscious about not striking out, making contact, has a tendency not to overswing. And I think he's just developing more and more and just maturing as a hitter. He's comfortable hitting the ball the other way. I just see a real solid approach up the middle. Not trying to do too much with it. Maintains his balance throughout his swing. He's not a guy to hit the ball and run, try to leg out an infield single. So I just see him settling in, having a nice base, staying through the ball.
Might have broken his bat. Shallow center. Collision. And the catch made. And they're calling for a trainer. Immediately, the hands went up and beckoned for help. And this is a sobering and somber scene. The game, of course, of grand import to us all, but the human element supersedes everything. Horner shaking off any need of help as he and Ian Happ met in pursuit of that fly ball. Able to come up to a seated position. The crowd trying to express its love for his well-being. Manager David Ross alongside.
As an infielder going out to the outfield, you wait to listen for that outfielder to call the ball, but an in-between ball like that, you just have to go as hard as possible, and that's that kind of collision happens. It's a great play, though. Having trouble keeping his balance, it would appear.
That was hard contact. Ian Happ, who played collegiately at the University of Cincinnati, who has excelled playing in this ballpark. They've now got a cart on the field. And you pray for his health. Scary scene, but at least seemingly alert there, able to interact some with his teammates. See the blood that now drenches that towel. Reds and Cubs fan alike. Round of applause for Ian Happ. So Happ can get proper medical attention. David Ross has to make a decision how to handle his outfield. Moustakas still at second base. They've used Sogard as a pinch hitter. They've used Marisnik as a pinch hitter. They've used Bodie as a pinch hitter. So Horner changes gloves. And what do? The only other bench position player was Wilson Contreras, your primary catcher, who has been sitting because of a leg injury suffered in game 1 of the series. David Ross said was loosely available. Now, Walters did come up as a middle infielder. He was primarily a second baseman in the Cleveland organization.
Well, it looks like Hayward's going to go to center field. Bryant looks like he's going to go to Horner. Now is moved from second base to the outfield.
And here comes Walters with an infield glove. So he's going to have to put Contreras in the game to catch. Put Walters on the infield. Horner goes to left. Bryant is going to play center, and Hayward's in right. So Contreras is in. Now remember, Contreras was lifted 5th inning Friday in the series opener. He did not come cleanly out of the box. As soon as he arrived at first base, he beckoned for an athletic trainer and said, "I need to come out." He felt something in his leg. The Cubs announced it was mid-thigh soreness, that he was still feeling sore yesterday. Today we were told he was loosely available. Well, he's got to come in, or they'd have to put a pitcher in the field. That's the last available position player. For Chris Bryant, 25 innings in center field in the big leagues total, spread over 10 games. And the Cubs are now out of position players. Reds have Moustakas at second. Nick Senzel will stand in. Tied at 12 in a slugfest in the 8th inning. So Horner from second to left, Bryant from left to center, Walters from catcher to second, Contreras enters as the catcher. Last time Chris Bryant played center field, 4 years ago. First pitch strike. Senzel is legged out an infield hit, walked twice, and scored a run. Moustakas the go-ahead run off second. Winkler's 0-1. It's always an odd feeling after an injury scene like what Ian Happ suffered. Trying to snap back into the game for both the players and the fans. One and two.
Yeah, it was just a hard-nosed play, and give credit to Horner. Horner playing second base, ranging out there, understanding that the collision could happen, and held on to the ball. Big play.
Got a piece. The Reds, by the way, have one position player left available. That's Jonathan India. Came off the injured list today. One, two. Swing and a miss. Senzel down on strikes. The Reds strand Moustakas at Great American Ballpark. You like home runs? You got 10 today. Tied for the most in a single game in the ballpark's history. Matching a game against the Pirates from April of 2014. Here are all your homers. What a spray chart.
Well, the guys have been swinging it, and you mentioned the ball is traveling. They certainly have squared up some pitches, and it's been an exciting game. Steals of home, crashes in the outfield, and a lot of home runs.
Hasn't been much damage against Heath Hembree. 4 2/3, zeros outside of a couple of walks and 7 strikeouts. "29 combined hits, 24 combined runs. The Cubs have exhausted all of their position players. The Reds have one left. Javier Baez. Strike one. Baez homered last time up, 2-run shot in the 7th. Skied. Farmer adjusting. One away. Hembree is not allowed a base hit as a Red. 5 scoreless and hitless innings. Anthony Rizzo is homered today. He and Chris Bryant each went deep in the 3rd. The Red shift. Popped up. Moustakas takes command. 2 down. Bottom 9, it's 8-9-1. Barnhart, Farmer, Winker. Just in case, Amir Garrett now warms in the Reds bullpen. And the Cubs have Andrew Chafin getting ready in their pen. Strike one. Hembree has been found money for the Reds.
Yes, he has been.
Oh, and 2. The Cub lefty, shades of the late Rod Beck. You can see the similarity in the hair, the stash, some of the swag, and AG. lying in wait for the Reds. Left-handed bat on deck. Outside, 1-2. Fouled away. Reds trying to make it wins in 4 of 6. Take the series against the Cubs. Day of rest to come tomorrow. Then the White Sox come to town for a couple before a long road trip begins. Cubs trying to avoid a 7th loss in 9 games. They're home to face the Dodgers. First of 3 begins tomorrow. 1-2, way high. Votto readies himself at first, way off the line. There goes the bat, look out. To the netting, shoots on down into the Cub dugout.
John, a couple years ago, this used to be 3 or 4 rows deep, hoping that it avoids hitting a kid or a mom or spectator, period. The netting down the line saves a lot of people, a lot of problems.
Another 2-strike pitch. In the dirt. What's going through David Bell's head right now? What are you thinking, Lark? Left-handed bat Hayward on deck. Hembree hasn't allowed a hit. But if Hembree loses Duffy, do you go left-left?
I think Hembree has been so good this year. I think you trust him. A lot of holes in Hayward's swing. There's ways to get him out. But David Bell is thinking, let's get this guy right here.
Ready for the 9th pitch of the at-bat. He has fouled off 3 of the first 8. Hembree is not allowed a hit as a Red. Trying to make it a 1-2-3 9th against the heart of the order. Hembree ready. Payoff. Duffy serves it to right. Castellanos makes the catch. A perfect.
And brought to you by Ray St. Clair Roofing, our probable pitching matchup. While we have a moment, happy early birthday to Reds fan Irene Sparta from Stone Harbor, New Jersey. Irene is turning 90 years young tomorrow. She watches every Reds game with her Joey Votto bobblehead nearby. So happy early birthday, Irene, and thank you so much for being a longtime Reds fan. And also today, happy 80th to Clay Carroll, the Hawk. Staple in that bullpen for the Reds, or the Big Red Machine.
It has been machine-like for both offenses today. Tucker Barnhart, a 2-run homer, faces new pitcher Andrew Chafin. First pitch, foul, strike 1. Let's go back to the 7th inning. Tucker Barnhart went deep.
Well, we talked about his short and compact swing. Tucker's been really good, showing the power.
That was all.
Making things happen at the bottom of that back end of that lineup.
That was off a lefty and Justin Steele. Here the lefty Chafin, who faced the top 4 in the Reds lineup, retired them all yesterday. That was when Winker was out. It was Naquin Castellanos, Vado, Moustakas. Only one man left the infield. Check swing try, clearly went too far.
Well, that's just a good pitch by Chafin right there. That's what happens when you lose your balance. Tuck's been so good at keeping his balance. Chafin throwing enough off-speed stuff to get him out.
More than a strikeout an inning for this lefty. Kyle Farmer takes a strike. Farmer grounded out. Came on in the 7th. They shift Farmer. Give him room right side. 1-1. Jesse Winker on deck. Two and one. Grounded weakly. Baez. 2 down. Jesse Winker scorching hot, aboard 3 times today. He's one of the few Reds not in the home run parade, despite 6 on the season. This afternoon, a single, a walk, hit by pitch. Ball 1. Chafin has allowed 1 home run this season, has given up 18 in his big league career, spent mostly with the Diamondbacks. Two and 0. Winker, all 6 of his homers have come against righties. It's .426 against right-handed pitching, 200 left on left. And he's got a 3-0 count. The man who shares the lead at homers in baseball is a right-handed bat on deck. No one stands in the Cubs pen.
You green light him right here?
Heck yes.
Absolutely.
Just nips the zone apparently for a strike. Winker thought it was low. (3-1). Again, a generous downstairs strike. Payoff pitch. Fouled away. Tomorrow, an off day perhaps needed. Get the bullpen set. Get a bit of a break mentally and emotionally. What a weekend it's been for the Reds. The majesty of Votto's homer. as they rallied and won on Friday. The frustration in the on-field drama, the loss yesterday. Payoff to left field. Hoerner makes the catch. And why not extra innings in the finale? Let's go back to 2 in 2018. This was the first, the flex after the strikeout. Then later that same season, got the whiff of Baez. Roared again. Baez had words right back. They jawed at one another in 2019 against Schwarber. Swing and miss and more barking between the two teams. Had some fun with it, flying it off the field. And then yesterday, the strikeout. Garrett in his best outing of the year. And Baez hurdled the padded railing. And emotion, you keep talking. I want you. You want me. Let's go. No punches thrown. Nobody ejected. Both teams were warned. Now Garrett is on, facing Jason Hayward.
And he was really good yesterday. Let's not forget that part of it. Got through the inning and he pitched well. See if he can continue that.
First pitch strike, and that was one of the signals, right? You know, he struck out Rizzo. He got the fly ball from Bodie. He threw his fastball for a strike. Now, Hayward is a great fastball hitter on the year, a very good fastball hitter. He's been a very bad non-fastball hitter. Grounded, foul. Keep in mind extras, so runner at second base. Matt Duffy had made the last out. He was in motion on that contact and jogs back. Yay or nay on the runner at second rule?
Traditional, you know, it's grown on me. I didn't like it when they first instituted it, but it just is what it is right now. So definitely gives you a better chance to score.
Swing and a miss.
And you mentioned the breaking ball and effective fastball early. Swiping breaking ball late.
They're going to walk Hoerner here with first base open. Hoerner's been such a pesky hitter. I think this is a brilliant move to go left on left against Walters. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it. Hoerner has been in the middle of everything. Amir is definitely tougher on lefties than he is righties. He's tougher on everyone when he's good. I like this move. Good strategic move.
You know, plus the pitcher spot follows this hitter in Walters, who's been a light hitter, and he's a lefty, and the Cubs are out of position players. First pitch strike, and starting pitcher Jake Arrieta is putting batting gloves on. He's the on-deck man. Does have, what, I believe 6 home runs in his career. Two on, one out, tied at 12 in the 10th. Runners go. Pitch misses, feigned throw, and a double steal. Duffy to third, Hoerner to second. Cubs have been aggressive on the bases all day.
Yeah, Amir didn't even look back at the runner right there, and Duffy taking advantage of it. David Ross is being aggressive with this team.
So now infield in, first base is open. You've got a pitcher in the on-deck circle. 1-1, down and away. 2-1. Way out in front. Garrett's put away pitch. That slider. Does it go back to the well? 2nd and 3rd. 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Back-to-back sliders.
Well, the slider is his pitch. And you can see the depth.
Ryan Hendricks is up in the bullpen, and David Bell comes on. He's going to make a pitching change. He's going to lift Garrett with the pitcher, Jake Arrieta, right-handed bat set to hit to bring on the right-hander in Ryan Hendricks. A pitching change at Great American Ballpark. At 12, pitcher will pinch hit, and a new pitcher enters for the Reds, Ryan Hendricks. This will be his 5th appearance. He is not allowed a hit in 2 2/3, scoreless and hitless. But Jake Arrieta pinch hits for the 4th time in his career. He does not have a hit as a pinch hitter. He has struck out every time as a pinch hitter. Strike 1. Six home runs for Arrieta. Outfield is shallow. Just low. That's a pitch that's been called a strike some in the last few innings. Hendricks, the rookie, just made his debut inside of 2 weeks ago. Just misses again. Lose Arrieta. Contreras, who has not hit yet today, is on deck. Happ left hurt. They were forced to bring Contreras in off the bench. Called strike. Ooh, that was close. Second and third, 2 down, 2 strikes. Hendricks delivers. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Ball lost. Tag applied. Tie game still. And AG fired up for his teammate. 2 more today, bringing his team-leading total to 9. In the third, on a 3-0 count. His first career homer on a 3-0 swing, a 2-run job, part of a 4-run inning. 7th inning, 2 down. Solo shot opposite way. Launched to right. A giant day for Castellanos with 4 base hits. He will lead it off with Jesse Winker at second base. Tied at 12, bottom 10. And he'll be tasked with facing one of the best to do it, Craig Kimbrell.
Well, we saw Kimbrell in yesterday's game, and guys got on base early, and he was able to wiggle out of it. But this is definitely the heart of the lineup. And the guys you want to go up there, take your chances with to score a run to win this ball game.
Jesse Winker at second base. The Reds have scored courtesy of their ghost runner in all of their extra inning games. They're playing their baseball high 6th extra inning game of the year. Castellanos grounded out against Kimbrell yesterday, looking for a 5-hit day. Ball 1. Kimbrel, a 7-time All-Star. 5 times has received Cy Young votes as a closer. 3 times got MVP votes as a closer. He's got the second longest active scoreless inning streak in baseball, 18 1/3. Down and away. And you hit it, Lark. The Reds hit him. Back-to-back hits greeted him in the 9th yesterday. Tyler Stevenson, Tucker Barnhart, but he followed with strikeout, ground out. Fouled back. Now, normally you may think about running for Jesse Winker at second base. But the Reds only have 1 position player left right now. That's Jonathan India, who just came off the injured list. That could complicate things in the outfield. Kicks away. Winker an open path to third. Ball went into the Reds' dugout, so Winker has to stop at third base.
Maybe a little cross-up right there. Looked like Contreras is looking for the breaking ball. Fastball down. Hits off the heel of his glove. Karem's out of play.
Scored a pass ball, and now it looks like we're going to have a change for the Cubs here.
I think we're going to have a 5-man infield.
They're going to bring Horner in to change gloves, and that's what they're going to do with a man at third. Everyone converging. So it looks like Horner is going to play straight up the middle here. Walters at the true traditional second base. They're going to load up. Look at this. Five-man infield drawn in. 3-1. Poke to center field. The Reds win.
Once again, Nick Castellanos being a leader on the field, getting the job done. Ice in his veins, lets the game come to him, and has been clutch this entire year for this team. What a ball game.
Second career 5-hit game, second career walk-off hit. Nick Castellanos, the hero, as the Reds claim a thriller in 10 innings, 13-12. They take the series, and the Cincinnati Reds have won 4 of their last 6.
Well, John, we saw a little bit of everything today. Hopefully Ian Happ is okay. Saw the collision in the outfield. We saw Walters try to steal home. And a lot of home runs. And Amir Garrett, another day coming out of the bullpen where he looked like he's got back to where his dominant self was.
Let's go downstairs. Jim Day with the hero, Nick Castellanos.
John, thank you very much. Crazy game to watch, Nick. Was it just as crazy out there on the field?
It was long, going back and forth. It was just good baseball all the way around.
Was this kind of what you guys expect, the offense you put up today, what you guys are capable of?
Absolutely. You know, we had good at bats from top to bottom. Swing at our pitch, took the walk when they gave it to us. So, I mean, just keep it going.
5-hit day for you, 9 home runs. You're now tied for the league lead. I know you would love to be mentioned amongst the elite hitters in baseball. Does it mean anything to you? I know we're early that you're tied for the league lead in home runs.
Let's see where we end up at the end of the year.
How about for this team, taking 2 out of 3 from the Cubs? How much of a boost for this team today?
Huge. Every time we can win a series against a division opponent is massive.
After yesterday's emotions, made even bigger a little bit?
Well, you know, I did have a hard time getting over yesterday. You know, Kimbrel got me to end the game, so, you know, that's never fun to be the last out. So, you know, baseball will give you another opportunity.
Congratulations on the victory. Enjoy the night. Enjoy your off day.
Thank you.
That is Nick Castellanos. What a day. Little poke, and it gets the game-winning run to the plate. Reds Live.